Remember,
thinks he's a
photographer or
race car driver.
Oh.
And so he drives his car down on the Larry H. Miller track.
Oh.
And this camera is like mounted inside his car, and so he can like take pictures of himself or take pictures of the driving.
What's the brand of that? What's the name of that camera?
Look. It's called
I think I saw it.
GoPro. So if you need to videotape yourself driving, now you know you can.
I saw that feature. I saw the guy, a biography on the guy that started that company.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Interesting.
Anyway, so my name is Heather, and I'm glad to be here, and I just wanted to thank Kelly for letting us come to her house today. It's always crazy to have people at your house, and so I brought her a cookbook so that she can get excited to cook. So, and if you want to see it, I'm sure she'll let you look through it, because who doesn't want to look through a cookbook? And we are just going to try some food, talk about some emergency preparedness things, and we're real casual and chatty, so if you have a question, just shout out. We're totally easygoing. So we're going to start with, I'm going to pass around some freeze-dried fruits to you, and we're going to eat these first ones dry, and in your little cup there is a strawberry, it's red, and then there's a square yellow thing, and it's mango, and then there's a small white square thing, and it's freeze-dried yogurt. So you know what you're eating. And if there's something that you don't like or are allergic to or whatever, don't feel like you have to.
We'll just pass.
Oh, okay. That's great.
We can play assembly line here. We're good at this.
You guys have got sense.
I met her at Time Out for Women.
Wait, what's that? What's time out?
Hey, how are we doing?
Everybody
got one? Everybody okay? All right, so munch on that for a second, and we'll talk about it in a minute. And I wanted to show you some emergency preparedness supplies that I really like and that are nice to add to your 72-hour kit. Do you want one?
Try one.
I didn't mean to.
Guys eat too.
I'm going to go downstairs.
You're going to take your own cup.
No, David was going to come, but we're going to take your paper that's due Thursday.
Well, hopefully.
Okay. See you.
See ya.
Anyway, so a couple of emergency supplies. Everybody wants to talk about the food, but the emergency supplies are important, so I'm just going to run through them fast. And if you have questions, we can talk about them really in depth. This is one that I think, especially as women, I think everybody ought to have. It's called a gas shutoff tool, and it is designed for when you need to turn your gas off in an emergency. Like, when would that be? In an earthquake, when everybody's leaking gas and the gas company can't get to your house. Oh, April 17th. The Great Shakeout. So this comes with a zip tie, and you just zip tie it right to your gas meter, and then when you need to turn your gas off, you have the tool right there. When I first bought this, my husband was like, we don't need that. We can just use water plump pliers. I do not even know what water plump pliers look like, so that's not going to work for me when he's at work and I'm at home turning off the gas. And one thing I just wanted to tell you is that your gas valve, if you ever have to turn it off, works different than a faucet. Like your water faucet, you turn it on, and it goes more on, and then you turn it off, and it goes till it's all the way off. Your gas valve does not work like that. It's a different kind of valve. So when it's straight up and down, it's on, and if you turn it 90 degrees, then it's off. But it will keep turning, so if you turn it again, it's back on. So you just need to know that straight up and down is on, and horizontal is off. So you just need to turn it 90 degrees.
And don't turn it back on.
Yeah, and don't turn it back on. You're supposed to wait for the gas company to turn it back on. So that's one that I really like. This is one of my new favorite products. It's called the Heat Cell. And do you remember that crazy weather we had a little while ago? And it was like a hurricane here in Utah.
December 1st.
It was in December. And everybody's power went off, but it was cold. Well, all of my ways to cook outside were like, all of my emergency ways to cook, because my power was off and I couldn't use my stove, were things to do outside. Well, it was a blizzard. I didn't want to do it outside. So I did some research and found something that would work, that was safe to use inside, because most fuel types are not safe to burn inside, and they can be really dangerous. Anyway, this is only a couple of dollars, and it's safe to burn inside. It has a very long shelf life, and it's safe to store. A lot of fuels are very tricky with storage, so it's a nice thing to add to your 72-hour kits.
How many burn hours?
9 burn hours.
9 burn hours. So it burns a long time, so a couple of them would get your family pretty set for a long time.
9-hour warmer, 4-hour cooker.
Yeah, and it's fairly inexpensive, a couple of dollars. This is one, it's called the Quick Clot, that my friend that's an EMT, when he was first looking through the catalog, he's like, buy that. And this is in case case that somebody has like a really bad wound and they're gushing blood. Like this is beyond Band-Aid stage. This is, we are scared you're gonna bleed too much stage. And this, you open it up and it kind of looks like a gauze pad and you put it on your skin and it clots right to your skin and it stops the bleeding. Now, the reason you'd want something like this is in an emergency, it's kind of hard to get to the doctor, right? So it gives you a little bit of time. This clots to the wound and gives you some time to get there. Now, you won't take this off if you use it. You need to wait till you're at the hospital and the doctor will take it off and then he'll put stitches in or do his magical thing so you're not bleeding to death anymore. But it's not very expensive and it's a nice thing to have in case of an emergency. So we'll pass them around.
And then we'll go to the wound care center and that's right. She'll treat the wound.
Yeah. This is one that I just got because in an emergency, I still want to take a hot shower. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go very long without taking a shower. So this is one I just added, and it's big. You hang it up outside in the sun, and it collects the sunlight and heats the water, so you have a hot shower. So I think it's pretty cool. So we'll pass it around.
Yes.
And then I have a couple other up here, but I'm just going to talk about this one, and then we'll move on to the food, and we can look at those after if you want. This is called the Deluxe Survival Kit, and it's my husband's most favorite thing. He thinks it is the coolest thing on the planet. So if you've got a husband that's a little bit like that, it comes with, and this is the thing he really likes, this is a chainsaw.
What? Oh,
Yeah, in a lot of emergency situations, like trees come down and the power's out. Anyway, it's a chainsaw, and so I was like, I am not cutting down a tree with that. How about you? So he went out in our yard and he cut down a tree to prove that you could. And it wasn't that hard, so you just slide your hands in and you wrap this around the trunk and you kind of go like that and it cuts it down. It's sort of a reasonable, it's reasonable, like not a horrendous amount of effort. The kit also comes with a blast match fire starter. And let's see if I can get this open. It's a little bit tricky. I should have opened it before it came. All right, here we go. So this is like a flint and steel, but you don't have to have skills to use it. You just push down, and I'm going to do it slow because she does not want a shower of sparks on her floor, I'm sure. And as you push down, it sends out a shower of sparks. So you just set it in your tinder and push down, and it's good. It's for those of us that are not real great at...
Don't they use that on Survivor?
Yeah. Anyway, so there's a... Oh, okay, one more.
So what's in? So those two things are what's in that kit.
Oh, and there's an emergency whistle, and there's a reflector mirror, and there's wet fire. It's a kind of tinder to help your fire get going without having to pour gasoline on it safely, you know? So, which I really like.
What's it called? That kit?
It's called the it's called the Deluxe Survival Kit. Water is a big issue when you're talking about 72-hour kits and even long-term food storage. And the purification of your water is an issue. A lot of times, your tap water will still be running, but it will be contaminated, so you can't drink it. And this is one of the things I really like. It's called the SteriPen, and you just pull that off, and it has a light in there, and you stick it in your water and push the button, and your water is sterilized. Yeah, it is awesome. I really like it. It does a ton of water, and it is small, very
battery
portable,
powered?
easy.
Well, how
It
does
is
it
battery
kill
powered.
the bacteria?
It uses a UV light.
I thought you had to more into water than...
No, it really does. Now, this doesn't strain it, obviously. You're just sticking this in your glass of water and pushing the button. So if you've got dirt
Like
or
muddy
something
water.
in it, you'd still need
Right.
to filter it somehow. But if you've got clean water, you're just not sure it's safe to drink. This is a nice way to make sure you're not going to get sick. Because sometimes there's bad stuff in
You
water,
can drink
especially
your toilet water
after... Especially after like an earthquake or something, you know, it's very easy to disrupt the waters. Okay.
So the UV light, it disrupts the DNA in like the protozoa, so they can't make you sick. That's how it sterilizes the water.
Yep. So
I'm just trying to think, because there's a Great Salt Lake, I've been in there and he's explained all that. And I wrote an article about it too, about how different ways you can sterilize water, but
UV light wasn't one of them.
I don't remember that being. Probably because most of the time, like if you're out camping, wherever light, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's a few of my favorite emergency preparedness supplies, and let's talk about the food. What did you think of the fruit?
I like the yogurt.
Yogurt, great.
Yogurt's pretty good.
My favorite one is pineapple.
I know, I meant to bring it and I just bought it today.
Pineapple I love.
So you can eat the fruit dry like that, or you can rehydrate it and use it how you would fresh or frozen. And this is freeze-dried. Everything we're going to eat tonight is freeze-dried. And let's talk about the difference between freeze-dried and dehydrated because it's confusing. So can everyone imagine a raisin? Yeah, you've got a raisin in your mind? That is dehydrated. It's smaller, it's shriveled, right? And it's a different color. And when you put it in water, is it ever going to be a grape again?
No.
No, it's not. It will get plumper and it will puff out, but it's not ever going to be a grape again. And when you dehydrate something, you put moving hot air over it and the water evaporates out slowly. Now with freeze-drying, it's a totally different process. Freeze-drying, they get the food ready, cut up, washed, all of those things, and then they put it into a special chamber, and it flash freezes the food, so the food gets frozen very quickly to a very low temperature. And then they change the air pressure in the chamber, and the water within the food goes directly from the solid state in the ice to a gaseous state, to water vapor. It doesn't go back to the liquid. It's called sublimation if high school is recent for you. If not, the reason that you care, why would you care about that? When you freeze dry it, it makes the shelf life very long, 25 years. Whereas with a dehydrated product, it's 7 years if you're lucky. 7 years is the long end. So that's a pretty big difference. Second of all, with freeze-dried, you retain almost all of the nutritional quality. About 98% of the nutrition in fresh is in freeze-dried. Of course, the water is missing, so you'll need to add back the water to have the water in it. And the other reason is it leaves the food the same texture, the same shape, the same color as fresh. When you saw that strawberry in your dish, could you identify it as a strawberry? And when you rehydrate it, it will look like a strawberry again. So it leaves your food in the same consistency, shape, color that you would normally eat it. So that's my care. Okay, next we're going to pass around some vegetables. And in this cup there are green beans and peas and corn and broccoli. Now the broccoli is the ugly square thing, but it's delicious. All of these are soft. They're not going to hurt your teeth, so give them a try. Are we doing maybe one more?
Okay.
So,
Green beans.
one of the things I really like about the vegetables is how easy they get dinner on the table, because that is what my life is about these days. I have little kids. We need to eat, usually soon. So with freeze-dried fruits and vegetables, all the prep work is done. The peas are shelled, they're ready to go in your soup. The carrots are chopped, they're scrubbed, everything's ready. The onions are already chopped. You just throw them in and you're ready to go.
It's like broccoli.
Yeah, they do taste like broccoli and peas because that's what they are. So for the vegetables, when I'm ready to cook them, I simmer them for about 5 to 7 minutes in hot water and they're ready to eat. They can also be rehydrated in cold water if you don't have access to hot water. It just takes a little bit longer, maybe more like 10 minutes. The fruits, most of them don't even need to be heated at all. Some of them you can just spray with a spray bottle. They just need to get wet. You don't have to drown them. They just need to be moistened again. So what do you think about the vegetables?
I like them better this way.
I like the broccoli.
You like the broccoli?
They're good.
They're good.
How would your family eat these? What do you imagine? What would you eat with these?
Chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice?
Vegetables too.
Yeah. We eat a lot of soup because it's easy. You know, get your broth, throw your stuff in, dinner's ready in 7 minutes.
I made broccoli soup the other day and I had to buy the broccoli and cook it up and then chop it up.
Yeah.
I hate you.
It's easy. It makes it a lot easier when it's already ready. So, would you work on the chicken salad first for just a second? The next thing we're going to try, she's going to bring some samples out for us. We're going to try chicken salad sandwiches, and I'm going to tell you what's in them so you know, because I always want to know what I'm eating. So, the chicken has been freeze-dried, and it's real chicken. It's not fake. It's real chicken. And there is freeze-dried celery and onions. And we rehydrated those in some warm water and let it sit for a few minutes. And then I drained it well, and then we added some salt and pepper and some mayo to it. And she's going to put on sandwiches. So that's all it is. A couple of notes when you're using freeze-dried fruits and vegetables. There's nothing added to the product. So the chicken has no salt on it. It has no MSG. It has no flavoring. It's just chicken. So normally you would salt and pepper your chicken breast, right? So you would need to with freeze-dried. The same with vegetables. Usually when you cook broccoli, you'd add some salt or pepper maybe, right? So you would need to with the freeze-dried. It's just the broccoli that's freeze-dried. There's nothing else with it. So now, while she's doing that, if you would get out your binder, and I'm going to walk you through what you've got. And I'm just going to use hers since it's right here. The price list is what's in the middle. So that's where the price list is. There's a catalog right here, and you can see a picture of all of the products. And I think it's a little bit easier to decide what you want looking at the catalog. There's also this yellow Q brochure, and that's what we're going to look at right now. And the Q is the reason I like Shelf Reliance.
You guys merged or something. It used to be just Thrive and Shelf Reliance were separate.
They've always been the same. Thrive is the line of food that Shelf Reliance sells. So we've always been one company.
Oh, okay.
So
We've had a guy sell, had Thrive and our 4th of July things.
yeah. Sometimes they talk about it just Thrive, but I think people are interested in everything, so I talk about everything. So the Q, the reason I like it is because in the past, when I bought food storage, this is how it worked at my house. We, at the first of the year, set a budget and we said, we are going to get a lot of food storage this year. So we're going to save this much and then we're going to go buy it all at once. Has anybody ever done that before? And what happens to that food storage money? You spend it on other things. That's what we did. And we didn't have as much food storage money as we wanted. We didn't get as much as we wanted. So what the Q does is it takes that out of it. It lets you buy a little bit of food storage at a time, however much you want. So at my house, what we do is we reallocate some of our grocery money to buy food storage with, because it's food, right? We can all come out of the same budget. So at my house, we take about $100 out of our food budget, because that's how much I would spend at the grocery store each week. And I just don't go grocery shopping one week. I buy food storage instead. So then my family made a big list of all the foods we wanted to add to our food storage. So we wanted to add broccoli and chicken and sour cream powder and powdered eggs. And we decided how much we wanted to spend, which was $100. You can spend however much you'd like. And we chose when we wanted it to come. So I want my food to come at the first of the month, because that's how I am. So I chose the 7th is when my food comes. So on the 7th of every month, the food that I told the computer that I wanted comes to my house. Now, a week before that, about the 1st, I get an email from Shelf Reliance and it says, just a reminder, your shipment's going to come on the 7th. These are the things that are in it. Is that what you really want? Well, it's not, because I change my mind all the time. I'm very fickle. Like 3 times during the month, I probably change my mind. So it reminds me, it says you have 2 cans of chicken and 2 cans of broccoli and a can of strawberries, or whatever it is. And I think, oh, but I just used all my pineapples, so let's throw the broccoli out and add some pineapple in. And it's totally customizable for you. The goal of it is for you to get the food storage you want when you want it. So it comes on the 7th, and I take it downstairs to my food storage room, and it has been a lifesaver for us. We have built up our food storage so quickly, I cannot believe it. We eat some of it, I cook with it all the time, and I still have a room full of food downstairs. So I think it's a great way to go. It's a nice option for you if you want to go that way. You also have an option of buying just a single can. You can buy a package, however you'd like to buy it. We'd be happy to sell it to you, so whatever you'd like to do. So everybody has chicken salad. What do you think?
It's really good.
Could you tell it was food storage?
No.
No, you can't tell. Was
Now,
it?
did you guys cut it up in the chicken in little pieces? Or
No,
like
it comes cut like that. It comes cut up like that. All we did was rehydrate it in some warm water, and then drained it, and then mixed it with the mayo, and that was it. Do you think your family would eat it?
Yeah.
Do you think
They hate it when they have to take up a can and squish it all out. And
And I hate, like, we used to store a lot of our chicken in the freezer, and I hate frozen chicken breasts. Ugh, I don't want to defrost them, and I always forget, and then you microwave them, and then they're
Half cooked and half raw.
And anyway, I love the freeze-dried chicken. I also really like the sausage because it's already cooked, no more spattering, and I can just use a little bit if I want. I don't have to use a whole pound of it. The same with the ground beef. So I think it's a really nice option.
Do they have ground turkey?
They do not have ground turkey. They have turkey, but not ground turkey. So, okay, the next thing we're going to pass around are the brownies. Now, the brownies are a mix, and it's an add water only mix. So they're not freeze-dried like this. It's a mix, and I baked these. So we're going to pass these around. And these are my favorite brownies, I have to admit.
I bought a bunch of them.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you cook them? Now, what'd you say? You mix these and bake them?
So they're a dry mix, and it's a add water only mix. Everybody, are we set?
We're good.
So you don't need oil or eggs or anything else, just water, mix it up, and bake it. And I baked them in mini muffins, so they were already portioned for you, but you can make them however you want. And one of the things I like to encourage people to do is to think about that when you're eating out of your food storage, you're still going to need some comfort food. So make sure that you store some things like brownies, if that's your thing, or cake mixes, if that's your thing, because you're still going to have birthdays come up. You're still going to have Sunday nights when you're craving some chocolate. So make sure that you have a variety of products that will meet your needs. And the brownies are ones that I really like. We also have, in the dessert line, people are always interested in the desserts, so we also have macaroons, which are like the brownies, just add water. And then we have ice cream, so Neapolitan bits, or ice cream sandwiches, or chocolate ice cream bars. And they're freeze-dried, and they're not meant to be reconstituted. You just eat them dry. Yeah, but they're delicious.
Space food.
Yeah, so, yeah, it is kind of like space food. So if you'll look back in here, I just want to run you through how things are in here. This on the bottom right here is the shipping chart. The company is based out of American Fork, so if you'd like to pick up your order in American Fork, if you ever head down that way, you can pick it up for no shipping and handling fee. So if you'd like to do that. This also talks about the Q Club, and the Q Club has a lot of great benefits. It's on the back of your yellow brochure. I took yours and I set it down.
It's okay.
Here it is. So with the Q Club, two of the things that I really like that you get is you get, each month they send you a coupon with a recipe and about a 15% discount on whatever's on sale that month. And I don't usually care what month I get my strawberries or I get my corn or whatever. I like to buy it on the best sale. So when the things I like are on sale, when the things I like are on sale, then I like to buy those things. So when corn's on sale, I buy corn. When rice is on sale, I buy rice. So that's a benefit of being on the Q Club. And they send you recipes.
Does
you
it
also
freeze-dried rice?
The rice is actually not freeze-dried. No, grains don't need to be freeze-dried to have a long shelf
Are they just sealed in the can then?
Mm-hmm. They are. Anyway, so if you have a queue of $100, then you get the Q Club for free. So you don't have to do a $100 budget. You can do whatever you like.
Well, the cans read like you get some of that, you close it back up. It's like a paint can.
Right, so that's a good question. The cans look like this. And the cans are all lined. I don't know if you've ever opened a can of food storage and it tasted like tin. That's because your can was unlined. So ours are all lined. And they're gold. You can see. I'll bring it up here so you can see. So with the freeze-dried fruits and vegetables and meats, they have a 25-year shelf life sealed. And then once you open it, you have about a year to use it. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. And you just need to remember to keep the lid sealed on. Because there's so little water in the foods, if you leave the lid off, it will start to absorb the water out of the air, just because there's really no water in it. So just make sure to keep your lids on. Oh, while we talk about can, I might show you a couple things that I really like. One thing that I really like, and it's little, it's right here, it's this little tiny circle. It shows you a picture of what the food's supposed to look like. Have you ever opened a can and been like, is that what it's supposed to look like? Well, now you know. It's supposed to look like that. If it doesn't look like that, you need to not eat it. And I like that because I've opened cans before and been like, I wonder if I should eat this or not. On the back, it has the nutrition facts. It also has the storage directions, how long it lasts in case you forget. And it also has a recipe, so in 10 years if you're like, no, what did she say I could do with that? You can remember because it's right there. But the thing I like the very most is on the bottom, and it's kind of hard to see. And it says, manufactured, it says what is in here, so it says fudge brownies in case the label gets torn off if you have naughty children like I have. And then it says manufactured on June 7th, 2011. And the reason I love that is I was going through my food storage a little while ago, and it was not marked like that. And I had some cans, and I thought, when did I buy this? Which children were alive? Which house did I live in? Has it been 15 years? Has it only been 5 years? I don't know. But now you know. You don't have to guess. You know that it was canned on June 7th, 2011, and that's when your shelf life starts with. So you can easily calculate, okay, that was only a year ago, that was 10 years ago, that was 15 years ago, whatever. So it helps you keep organized a little bit better.
I spent $7,000 on food storage when we first got married, when we first got back from overseas, because I thought, you had to have your whole house ready
Yeah.
the first day. So we spent $7,000. And the food,
They bought a car for that.
1/4 of the food tasted good. The rest of the stuff was like that. Oh, what's the
TVP?
acronym? Yeah, TVP, the protein tasting gross meat. And then the guy made a mistake, and so instead of just sending us 450 pounds of wheat, we got like 900 pounds of wheat. And so we used up all of our flour and all of our rice. And we found that we liked some of the fruits that they had, but the rest of the stuff we still have in the basement we will never eat. We've tried it. It's gross. The kids hated it. And it's just a total waste of money.
I'm glad you brought that up because I really think you need to try it before you buy it. Buy things your family is going to eat. If you're just going to throw it away, it's a waste of money. Buy something your family likes. For example, my family does not like lima beans, so we do not store lima beans. Because I don't know, it's going to be the end of the world and my family is still going to hate lima beans. So let's buy something they like instead of things they hate. So I really like that. So on your price list, it's long. So let me just give you the crash course. The foods are at the first, and the foods all come in number 10 cans. And that first list that you're looking at is number 10 cans and food. And then if it comes in a smaller size, it says right below it. So it says pantry. So this is the pantry size. A lot of people like it because it fits better in their kitchen cupboards. Or if there's just a few of you living at home, you might not need a whole number 10 can of food. So if you have that option. We also sell a pouch, and it's a little bit smaller. It holds about 2 cups, and the shelf life is a little bit shorter. It's great for like backpacking if you have people in your family that does that. We also sell a bucket, which is a bucket.
6 gallon.
6 gallon, and they come with, oh no, I can't think of the word, the gamma lids that twist off, so you just twist it off and open it up. You don't have to get your wrench out and pry the lids off.
Hello there.
Come on in.
Hello.
So you can go through, no worries. So first you have the food, then after a couple of pages of food, on page 6 is the shelving. That's how the company started, is with the rotating shelving. And you do get a great deal at a party. The Harvest,
Did you get a binder?
yeah, the Harvest 72, which is the shelf you've probably seen, is $264, which is a great price. So we're looking at page 6. Then the emergency supplies are behind that. There's the food packages and then emergency supplies. So I know it's long, so if you're looking for something specific, shout out and I will help you find it. On the price list, oh, I said the wrong thing. On the order form, there's a couple of things I need from you. When you're ready to order, I need a name and phone number. I will not call you. But things get shipped directly to you, FedEx, and FedEx requires a phone number. So that's what it's for. And an email address. If you've got one, that's how your orders are tracked, by email address. Then you can skip those two. If you'd like to host a party, I'd be happy to come in and help you do that. Hosts get great benefits, about 10% of the party total in free product. So. And if you'd be interested in being a consultant, check there and I'll be happy to talk to you about that. Then I need your shipping information. Like I said, it gets shipped directly to your house, so I need to know where your house is at. And if your billing information is different, then I need your billing address below that. If you want to pay with a credit card, I need your details. If you want to write a check, then talk to me about that and we'll make that happen. Then you just fill it out and I'll figure out your tax and shipping. So, questions about that?
And if you've never seen these shelves, I have some downstairs, and I absolutely love them.
I love them too. I was worried before I got them that they would not be space efficient, that I would not be able to store as much stuff, and that is totally not true. I can store way more stuff on my shelf than I could
I have two of the
how I was
hardest
doing it
drives.
before.
Really? We got them a couple years ago, and we've loved them.
So, does anybody have any questions? Is there anything I can tell you? Any recommendations that you need?
Marilla needs to try some of your stuff.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
The consolidator, that's like something you would have inside your cabinet
For your cans.
Right, inside your kitchen cabinets.
Do you need to become are these?
So these are freeze dried, so let me tell you what you've got.
Okay.
Strawberries, then the yellowy one is mangoes, and the white one is vanilla yogurt.
Okay.
Then this one